So who would like to start our today's satsang with a traditional way?
I'll do it,
Okay.
Acharya.
Yes, please go ahead.
Mala Sudha Kumbha Vibhoda Mudra Vidya Virajat Karavari Jahatam Apara Karunya Sudhambhurashim Shri Sharadambam Pranatosmi Nityam Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam.
Thank you very much. So, welcome all of you, myself, since there is only one self. Don't forget that there is only one consciousness, one self, one awareness, one presence, which is interacting with itself. Even if it seems very difficult to swallow this is the truth, and gradually you will be able to swallow, to assimilate. So Andrew will start reading the first 3 verses in English, and after we'll do a pause to see if somebody has to ask something or to clarify or to just to give us a comment. And then we will continue. And according to the flow of questions and clarifications, we will proceed. So Andrew, you can start.
What is inquiry into the truth? It is the firm conviction that the self is real, and all other than that is unreal. What is the self? That which is other than the gross, subtle, and causal bodies, beyond the 5 sheaths, the witness of the 3 states of consciousness, and of the nature of existence, consciousness, bliss, is the self. That which is made up of the 5 great elements that have undergone the process of pankikarana, born as a result of the good actions of the past. The counter of experiences like joy, sorrow, etc., and subject to the 6 modifications, namely, to potentially exist, to be born, to grow, to mature, to decay, and to die, is the gross body.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. So we have these verses, and we can say that these 3 verses are the summary of Tattva Bodhah. Especially the verse which conveys the truth that our true nature is Atma. It's not Anatma. It's not all these panchakosas, and it is this which is the witnessing presence, Satchitananda, of the 3 states. So we can see furthermore in the next sastram that we will study together that this is really the summary of all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, and all the Sastra. That what we are is have never been an individual, a body-mind complex, a soul, a jivatma, an ego, but on the contrary, our true nature was always and will always be Brahman, infinite, impersonal, consciousness, awareness, presence. So Does anybody wish to clarify something or to give us a comment? Or I can wait a little bit and then we can continue. The rest, please keep your microphone closed so we can have clear audio in our recording.
Hi, yeah. The idea that the self is real, just, I don't know if I've got a question or an observation, but for example, in the Heart Sutra, Buddha says that all phenomena are empty and everything's illusory. How can the self be? It's like the self appears to be real. How can something be real when all phenomena are impermanent, transitory? They don't have self-existence. Nothing has self-existence.
Well, very, very good topic, and this is in according with Sri Buddha and his teaching about sunyata, emptiness. So in Advaita Vedanta, we have a different standpoint. That's why we call the Buddhist standpoint Sunyavada. So for Advaitins, sunyata is not our true nature. Sunyata is what appears when there is no activity in the mind, when we don't have mental processing. Now, in reality, what is the witnessing presence of even the sunyata, emptiness, is our true nature. What is there as a substratum and as the revealer of the sunyata, emptiness, is our true nature, Brahman, consciousness, awareness. So when Sri Adi Shankaracharya is speaking about the self, of course, he does not mean the self, the small self, the individual, but he means the self with a capital S, which is Brahman, which is infinite consciousness, awareness, presence, which is impersonal, and which is beyond any limitations. So it is the substratum of everything and everyone that is the revealer, and whereupon everything and everyone appears and disappears, and even the Jagat, the universe, and even God, Isvara, appears and disappears in this substratum, which is our true nature, our true self. So sunyata, emptiness, is really the theory and the teaching of Buddha, but there are differences in the standpoint of Advaitins. We have to remember that in the deep sleep without dreams, we have the same phenomenon. Something, in inverted commas, of course, because it is not something, is watching, is revealing the emptiness in the deep sleep without dreams. Something is revealing that, and something is there as a revealer and as a substratum. And something is watching as a witnessing presence. So our true nature, according to Advaita Vedanta, is Turiyam, which means the fourth state, which is the real state and the real reality. The real reality is Turiyam, is this pure consciousness, awareness, presence, whereupon everything, everybody, the entire Jagat universe appears and disappears. Deep inside everything and everyone and in Jagat, the universe, there is nothing else except emptiness, sunyata. But what is revealing this emptiness and what is the substratum of this emptiness, sunyata, is Brahman, our true self, with capital S. So I don't know, Andrew, if you want to elaborate more, please ask further questions if it's not so clear.
I will ask something, but not right now. I'll think on it.
So somebody else? Please be free. There is no question which is not appropriate. If it is in general, according to the text that we are studying, and in general about Sanatana Dharma and Advaita Vedanta, please feel free to ask. Okay, then Andrew, you can continue a little bit for 3 more verses. So we can have some time before we close the session and before our guided meditation for tonight to ask again for a pause for those who want to ask something or to clarify or to make statements. So read the next 3 verses.
What is the subtle body? That which is composed of the 5 great elements, which have not undergone grossification, born of the good actions of the past, the instrument for the experience of joy, sorrow, etc., constituted of 17 items, namely, the 5 sense organs of perception, the 5 sense organs of action, the 5 pranas, the mind and the intellect, is the subtle body. The 5 sense organs of perception are the ears, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose. The presiding deities of the sense organs of perception are space of the ears, air of the skin, the sun of the eyes, water of the tongue, and the Asvini Kumaras of the nose. The field of experience of the sense organs of perception are cognition of sound for the ear, cognition of touch for the skin, cognition of form for the eyes, cognition of taste for the tongue, and cognition of smell for the nose. The 5 sense organs of action are speech, the hands, the legs, the anus, and the genitals. The presiding deities of the organs of action are Agni, fire, of speech, Indra of the hands, Vishnu of the legs, Yama of the anus, and Prajapati of the genitals. The function of speech is to speak, that of the hands to grasp things, of the legs locomotion, of the anus elimination of waste, and of the genitals pleasure, procreation.
Okay, so this is a description of different functions in what we call the body-mind complex. this is not our true self. Why Adi Sankaracharya and the holy tradition, the holy Guru Parampara are doing this classification and this detailed explanation of different functions and different mechanisms? Because we want to use the tool called neti, which means a negation of our nature, of possible nature as anatma. So we negate our possible nature as anatma in order to lead ourselves through the guidance of this particular scripture and in general through all the Shastra, in the conclusion that what we really are, our true self, have never been this body-mind complex and these mechanisms. So we say neti. We are not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. So we are in this process of doing a very profound viveka, discrimination between what is real and what is not real. What is our true self with capital S, and what is not our true self, the small self, the apparent self, the illusory self. So in reality, all these body-mind complexes and mechanisms and functions have never ever existed in the first place. It is a dream story. It is only a dream. Nothing of these bodies ever existed. And nothing of these bodies or body-mind complex will ever exist. The same with Jagat, the universe. The same with what we call Jivatmas, or the souls, or even Isvara, God. These are only for the sake of pedagogical reason, to help us to gradually to dismiss our false conclusions, our false, let's say, beliefs that we are this, that, or the other body, either the gross body, or the subtle body, or the causal body, and so on and so forth. We have never been these bodies. These bodies do not exist. They are just a manifestation, an appearance in consciousness. Just like the ocean have waves, and the waves don't have ocean. The waves do appear in the ocean as simply the water of the same ocean, but they have never been individuals, self-existent individual waves. So the same with everything in the apparent universe, Jagat, the same in the apparent body-mind complexes. So because an apparent individual believes that he is the gross body, the Annamaya Kosa, or he believes he is the Pranamaya Kosa, the energy body, or he believes he is the Manomaya Kosa, the mind body, the mental body, or he believes he is the Vijnanamaya Kosa, the intelligent body, or he believes he is the Anandamaya Kosa. And because the apparent individuals, they believe so, the scriptures, the Shastram, are appearing to show us the truth. By what? By discrimination, viveka, by comparing the real with the unreal. Yes, it appears the gross body, we can see it. The pranic body, we can maybe feel. The mental body, we cannot even feel. The mental body may appear only by an expression in the physical. The intelligent body is even more difficult to see. The Anandamaya Kosa, the body of bliss, is even more difficult to see. But all these are just functions and mechanisms. So that is the reason why we do this study, why we want to follow these Prakarana Granthas, which means the preparatory scriptures, the preparatory texts of these wonderful acharyas, gurus. I will do 1 minute pause for what we have been saying until now, if there is any need of clarification or statement or question. Okay, so we will continue. Andrew, can you read a little bit more?
What are the three states? They are the waking, dream, and deep sleep states. What is the waking state? The state of experience in which the sense objects, like sound, are perceived through the sense organs, like the ears, is the waking state. The self, identifying with the gross body, is then called Visva. For the question, what is the dream state? The explanation is the world that is projected while in sleep, from the impressions born of what was seen and heard in the waking state, is called the dream state. The self, identified with the subtle body, is called Tajasa. Then what is the deep sleep state? That state about which one says later, I did not know anything, I enjoyed good sleep, is the deep sleep state. The self identified with the causal body is called prajna.
Okay. So again, a further explanation about the states that we pass through. So there is a permanent factor whereupon, as I said earlier, these three states do appear, and there is a substratum, and there is Satschitananda, which is observing and is the witnessing presence of these three states. Although, for example, in the deep sleep without dreams, nobody is there as a person, as an individual, as a soul, as a jivatma. Nevertheless, in the morning, he can recollect that there was no activity, mind activity, no thinking process, and that it was a peaceful state. So, what was there watching this non-activity? What was there revealing this sunyata, emptiness, this non-activity? This is so our true nature, our true self. And this is called, as I said earlier, Turiyam, or We give it different names, but in reality, we speak always for the same permanent factor, permanent real reality, which is Brahman, consciousness, awareness. So the three states are one more tool to further help us to see that we cannot be something which is not permanent. We have to be something which is always permanent, which is always there in the three states of time: past, so-called past, present, and future. And what is that? It is this Turiyam, it is Brahman, awareness, consciousness. The three states are not permanent. The one gives its position to the other. So we change these three states constantly. So how we can be something which is so impermanent? How we can be John or Mary or Krishna or Rama or George, when every night in the deep sleep without dreams, nobody is there. Whoever we believe that we are disappears every night in the deep sleep without dreams. Although always we remember this state of complete emptiness, blankness in the morning. So this is revealing to us that we have to be this permanent reality, which is able to be there even accommodating blankness. We have to be that which is able to accommodate even the blankness, even the nothingness. So our true state, our true self with capital S, is Brahman. That's why the sages are able to say, Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. I have never been an individual. I have never been a Jivatma. I accommodate Jivatmas. I accommodate Isvara. I accommodate Jagat, the universe. But myself is always unaffected, unchanging, real reality. I know that this teaching is difficult to swallow, difficult to assimilate. But here we are to present the truth. We are here to investigate the truth. And for Atma Vichara, we are not here for something easy. We are not here to do something easy and to have fun. We are here for the sake of truth, for Atma Vichara, for exploring, discovering altogether the truth of our true nature. What is what we call myself? What is this self? It cannot be this gross body, which is changing constantly, which have been a baby, which have been in the belly of the mother, even not really existent, not really appearing in this jagat, in this world, which then becomes a baby, which then becomes an adult, which then becomes an old person, and finally it goes back to the 5 elements. We cannot be even the Sukshma Sarira, the subtle body, because this is also not permanent. Sukshma Sarira is living a little bit more. Karana Sariram is living a little bit more. And when we don't appear anymore, in moksha, in self-realization, then there is no even Karana Sariram, which is the causal body, the causal state. So all these teaching, it goes more and more profound in the next sastra that we will see together. And we will be able to see more and more profound teaching, more and more understanding, and more we will be able to assimilate. You know that the mother of knowledge is also repetition, and also together with the hearing again and again the teaching, if you accompany it with spiritual practice, with Vedantic meditation, nididhyasana, and with, of course, previously with mananam, clarifying and being able to resolve all your questions and your doubts, then by ending trying to assimilate with nididhyasana, the Vedantic meditation, this teaching, gradually it will become more and more easy to grasp. So 1 minute pause to see if you would like to ask something or to clarify.
Namaste Guruji, Malti Hegde. Namaste. Is it necessary to know the function of all other bodies, just like we are concentrating on our physical body, right? Then do we really need to understand this causal body, Anandamaya body and all? Or shall we take it as a granted that we are purifying it by good thinking and good karma?
Yes, very nice question. It is the question of a lot of people, whether we really need to go so much in details and to remember and to try to work and to understand and to remember and to clarify and to know. And no, there is no need to go to these details. This teaching is not for learning the details. It is to give us an ability to do, as I mentioned earlier, to use the tool of neti-neti, of negating these functions, these mechanisms, and it helps like this purpose, for this purpose, because a lot of people are believing that they are the gross body. There are some more mature people, more spiritually mature, where you can hear them say, I am energy. I am something made of energy. So for these people who like to believe that they are the energy body, this teaching is can make a difference and can help them. And even for those who believe that they are something even more subtle, like the intelligence or the mental body, it also gives them the ability to think better what they believe. So by presenting with so many details these functions, Adi Shankaracharya and all the rest of the Shastram is trying to help those apparent individuals who believe that they are either the gross body or the more subtle or the causal body, to take it out and to really see if this is the truth. Because these bodies are not permanent. So there is no really need for those who have sraddha, who have trust to Shastram, who have a real deep trust to the Guru Parampara and to their Guru, their Acharya, there is no really need for going too much into these details. Some people believe that they need even to know these Sanskrit names or to know what means each Sanskrit name. This is not my standpoint. I believe more on the essence. I believe that nowadays we have to pass to humanity as much as possible the essence of the Sanatana Dharma in general, and in particular the essence of Advaita Vedanta, and in more particular the teaching of Adi Sankaracharya. So, to respond to your question, really there is no need to go so much into these details. That's why I want to finish a little bit quickly this text of Tattva Bodhah and go to the more essential teaching, more profound teaching. But for those who are really very much in a beginning state, as beginners, I wanted them to have this opportunity to have a taste of this fundamental text. So, if you go really with Shraddha, with faith, devotion, and trust to your Guru, to the holy lineage, and you really do Atma Vichara, you go to the essence, then you don't need so much to get involved in these details. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody else?
Namaste. Namaste. I'm Nagaraju here speaking from India. I have a question. Having understood all the fundamentals that has been spoken out from the Tattva Bodhah, I am more curious to achieve the state of Turiya. And to achieve the state of Turiya, is it mandatory and necessary that we must have a guru in the physical presence, or can it still work being away from the guru by only listening and doing Shravanam of the Vedantic text? Is Shravanam of Vedantic text good enough to achieve the state of Turiya? You are on mute, Guruji.
So this is a very interesting topic and a question, and this question have appeared in a previous Satsanga as well, and I will repeat my answer. My answer is that, of course, it is much better to be in the physical proximity of a guru or an acharya. Nevertheless, if due to the circumstances and the problems in the society and your personal problems or family problems, you are not able to be in this proximity, then it is 1,000,000 times better to listen, to do Sravanam of the teachings online than not to do at all. Furthermore, there is no really space. What I want to say with that is that in reality, what is now conveying the teaching, the substratum where the teaching is conveyed, the so-called Acharya Satchitananda and the so-called Sishya who asked the question, all of these are the same consciousness. There is only one consciousness which is interacting in itself, with itself, in itself. So the grace is already upon you. There is the need only of uncovering the grace or removing the veils of the grace. What means that? Means that if you are really in this Sravanam with your heart and you don't think really other things during our Satsanga, our online Satsanga, and you are really here with your heart, then your heart is the real Guru, the real Acharya. Because there is only one Guru, one enlightened one, and this is your true self. There is no other enlightened one or another jnani or another enlightened one or another Jivan Mukta except your own self as Brahman. But we speak about moksha, we speak about Jivan Mukta, we speak about the path attaining Jivan Mukta or moksha because of those who believe they are an individual and they cannot see that their true nature is Brahman. So there is no really need for what we call the physical proximity. Of course, it can give you a more, a more exotic feeling, and it can help you to open up your heart more easily. But the teaching is the same, whether you hear the teaching in the physical proximity or through an online satsanga, the teaching is always the same. It's the same sastra, the same teaching, the same holy Guru Parampara. Now, there is no need to stay only in Sravana. You have to continue, you have to apply also Mananam, as you are already doing by asking this question. This is in the process of Mananam, trying to clarify, trying to give the question to the Acharya. And furthermore, when you are in a peaceful state and you have some spare time, you should go also to the phase of Nididhyasana Vedantic meditation. Like whatever we have been saying today in our online satsanga, you have to go in a state of meditation and try to assimilate this teaching. Then if you continue further by leading a spiritual lifestyle, by doing karma yoga, by trying to maintain what you have been hearing and what you have been understanding, then it is okay. Then it is more than enough. So don't forget that the real Guru is your own self. The so-called external gurus are only to help you, to lead you to your own self. So it is the same consciousness now functioning as the one who is asking, the one who is answering, and the substratum where this phenomenon do appears. So I don't know if you want me to elaborate more. Please do so if you need.
Thank you very much. I have understood it. And then, yes, as you have mentioned, proceed and progress towards Nididhyasanam is the next step. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Another one? So I think it is enough for our today's online Satsanga. We can do now some minutes guided meditation, and we can close our Satsanga for today. Please remember that everybody here is most welcome. There are no prerequisites for people to come and join us. Everything is always free of charge according to the holy tradition. And we accept possible Guru Dakshina, possible donations to help us to establish our Sringeri branch, our Advaita Vedanta Asrama in Europe. But you may pass this message to your friends and relatives and those who are interested for these teachings, and convey to them that everybody is most welcome to join us, even if they have never been involved till now into these teachings. Furthermore, I would like you to ask you that if you know any people in Denmark, in Canada, in Austria, in Nepal, in England, or in Germany, to let us know, because we are planning events in these countries. Of course, free of charge, Advaita Vedanta events, where I will also give, except of Satsanga, I will also give initiations, passing the initiations that I have received from His Holinesses, the Jagat Gurus of Sringeri. So I will offer a sacred mantra of Shiva to those who are interested and they are really sincere mumuksus. I will pass this sacred mantra that I have received in Sringeri, and also the permission to pass it on to their sincere mumuksus. So that was just an announcement. So now close your eyes. Try to find.
Sorry, Namaste. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, sure.
Malti again. Sir, only for physical shishyas only you give the initiation. Can't you give the online shishyas the initiation of mantra?
Well, I do so, and there are different kind of initiations that I may use, but for these you need to see on this physical appearance eyes. So whenever you are able and you really wish to be connected with your true nature, just focus on this body-mind complex eyes, and in particular without thinking. So if you concentrate on the eyes, I will try to initiate you, but it has to be you have to have an open heart and look straight forward in these eyes without thinking. Okay? Then I can offer to you a kind of a Saktipat, but it will work only if you are open and ready, and if you want to see your true nature with a sincere heart. Okay. So now you can take a comfortable posture. Close your eyes just like you wish to sleep without pressing your eyes. Start focusing in the breathing process. Become aware of the breathing process. Do not change the mode of your breathing. Just become aware of your breathing process. If thoughts do appear, just let them appear, but do not be attached to them. Let them pass by like clouds in the sky. Do not give your full attention. You may be aware as awareness, that a thought do appear, but you don't give any importance. So let them pass by. The moment that you are aware that you are being attached to any of those thoughts, this moment is a wake-up call to return to full awareness. Forget completely the physical body, the gross body. If you really need to choose a different posture or to modify your posture, you may do so, but in full awareness. Become aware of your awareness. What means that something in inverted commas is here and now listening, and it knows that it is existence, that it exists. Stop now being aware of the breathing process and ask the question to yourself: what is this that I call myself? Do not give any mental answers to this question. Just ask the question and remain in silence. What is this that I call myself? If any of mental answers do appear, just notice the answers, but do not get any attachment onto these thoughts, onto these answers. Become aware mostly in the substratum where the question and these answers do appear. Where this listening, the questioning, and the answers do appear. How big is this substratum where the listening, the questions, the answers, and the feeling of existence do appear? Is it big, small? How big, how small? what is listening now and knows that it exists? Does it have a location? Does it have a beginning point or an ending point? Can it be imprisoned in what you call my body or my brain or my skull? Can it be imprisoned there? What is here listening and knows that it exists? Is it a male or a female or a human being? Does it have a shape or form? Does it have a particular age? What is here listening and knows that it exists? Did ever had a birth, a beginning? If there is a wrong answer that it had a beginning, then what was aware of that beginning or so-called beginning? Is it possible awareness, the true self, to have a beginning point? Even if there is a wrong answer, I had a beginning, then ask yourself again and again, and what was aware of that beginning? See if you awareness can be localized. See if you awareness need anything at all. See if you don't think, if you awareness have any problem at all, if you stay in silence. And very, very, very slowly, be aware again of your breathing process. Start moving the gross body, but in full awareness. Open your eyes, look in front of you, and try to localize that which is behind the so-called eyes, if it is really behind the eyes or in the skull, or if it is unlocalizable. But really try to see that which is aware of the gross body, the room, possible sounds, and any other perceptions, sensations, thoughts, that which is aware of all these, if it is really behind your eyes in the skull, or if it is unlocalizable. Do not think, try to see. Where is me awareness? Am I somewhere? Nowhere? Or I am, just I am? Okay. And who would like to close with a traditional way our today's Satsanga?
Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Nityam Suddham Nirabhasam Nirakaram Niranjanam Nityabodham Chidanandam Gurur Brahma Namamyaham Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti